Okay, let us start. क्या हुआ? So today is this 11th class of the course. And we'll talk about carrier transport today. Okay. Finally, what is important in our devices is that we can transfer our electrons and holes from one place to another. There is nobody. No, there are. Okay. YouTube. That's fine. So we can transfer our electrons from one place to another. That is what carries signals finally. So that is the probably the most important part. The only reason we were studying carrier statistics in stationary in equilibrium was because those are important to derive your current when your voltage is applied, okay, or any other non-equilibrium situation is arises. So carrier transport can carriers we already know the particles that carry charge from one place to another, electrons or holes. Electrons are negatively charged, holes are positively charged. So you have primarily two kinds of carrier transport. You might have read these earlier, drift and diffusion. Okay, how much of this have you guys studied earlier? Anybody?
So we have studied the basics of drift and diffusion.
Basics of drift and diffusion. Where?
Sir, in our 12th class also and in our first semester course as well.
Okay, introduction to electronics.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So drift is when you apply an electric field, what happens? Okay, if you have an electric field, what is going to happen? And when you have diffusion is when you have a gradient in carrier density. Okay, in those places you will see diffusion. If you apply an electric field, your electrons and holes are charged particles. So if you apply an electric field, they'll experience a force, and depending on how much the force is and what the opposing forces are, you will have certain amount of current. Okay, so you have. Let us first talk about drift. Now, your lattice consists of सिन्हा जी क्या हुआ अमन सिन्हा प्लीज म्यूट योरसेल्फ
Okay, sir.
so let us say these are your lattice and the central part of your nucleus and the inner core shell electrons are present. This is the whole thing. Okay, and then you have, let us talk about electrons for now because it makes our life easier. They are completely free particles. So if an electron which is traveling, okay, so an electron travels. Why will it travel? Let us, before it travels, let us say that you have an electron present over here and you apply an electric field in this direction. Okay, what is going to happen to that electron? Is it going to experience any forces?
Sir, it will experience the force towards the right.
Yeah. So because of this electric field, the electron will experience a force in this direction equal to E times E. Okay. So that is the force that this electron will experience. But this would be, so if this were free space, what would be my speed of this electron after time t is equal to infinity? Okay, what will be the speed of my electron if it were free space after t is equal to infinity? Let us say that our electric field is also infinite in all directions. Means the distance for which electric field is present, not infinite. The electric field magnitude is not infinite. The space in which it is acting is infinite. What is going to be its speed?
The speed will tend towards infinite because
Yeah.
acceleration is continuous.
Yeah, because you have a constant acceleration, and acceleration times t is your velocity. So after infinite amount of time, you will have infinite velocity. But in reality, do you expect that to happen? It does not happen. Why it does not happen? Because in these, first of all, you do not have free space. Okay, you always have something somewhere. Okay, and even if you had free space, you could not create electric field that would be present. Means. Everywhere. Okay, so that is another issue. But even if all of these were true, you still are not in a free space. You have your crystal lattice. Okay, and the crystal lattice contains nucleus and other electrons and so on and so forth. So when your electron tries to travel over here, okay, let us say it crosses this region. This is closer to this nucleus as compared to the other nucleus. Okay, so there is a possibility that if, let us say, there is some positive influence of this and some positive influence of this, it is possible that it will get attracted in this region. Okay, that is, even if that is not true, there is obviously going to be some. यार कौन है यार ये? Do you have a question, Manav? Manav. So there is going to be some kind of scattering, because let us say it crosses your electronic cloud. Okay, if it crosses your electronic cloud, it comes into contact with other electrons. Obviously, there is going to be some kind of scattering. Okay, and again, it is now this is moving straight towards your another atom. Now again, a little far away from this atom, it will get scattered in a different direction, and so on and so forth. It will keep on happening. Okay, but this electric field is present throughout your crystal. So you will have a general, you might have a lot of scattering because of various reasons, but you will have a general movement of this electron in this direction. Okay, the general movement, the net movement of this electron would be in this direction. Okay, so that is the basic principle of drift. Okay, you may have a lot of scattering or anything, but finally the general direction in which the net direction in which your electron overall on an average, the electrons which are traveling are going to move from the left to right direction, in the direction opposite to your electric field. So that is the basic concept of drift. So, and once we assume all the phenomena, all the scatterings, we take those things into account, we get some average velocity which is called as Vd, which is drift velocity. Okay, and in certain regions, drift velocity is proportional to electric field. Okay, in certain regions, drift velocity is proportional to electric field. The higher your drift electric field, higher will be your velocity. Okay, and in a linear fashion. And so Vd is also given by mu times your electric field. Okay, that is your drift velocity, where mu is the constant of proportionality, and it is called as mobility. Okay, you might have done the derivation for current in your 12th standard. I don't know whether you have done, but you might have heard this, any VDS. Okay, have you all seen this or no? Have you seen this particular equation? Capital S, or no? Or the sum or the terms have changed? Anybody?
Yes, sir, we have seen it in 12th.
Okay, what is S?
So the drift current, I guess.
No, S. I is your drift current. I is your drift current. What is S? Anybody knows?
Area.
Yeah. So this is the area, and E is your drift. Sorry, Vd is your drift velocity. E is your electronic charge. N is your number of electrons or density of electrons, and I is your current. Okay. So that is you might have done this. Did you do the derivation of this in class 12th or no?
Yes, sir.
You did the derivation. Okay. So we are not going to do it again. Okay. So we will assume that is true. So but one more thing we can do is that is again we do not want to be limited by the dimensions of our semiconductor. Okay, because that is going to make our life a little more difficult. So we'll try to remove dimensions as much as possible. So let us remove a dimension from here. Let us take this area and put it over here. Okay. Now what is this? ये क्या है? J, which is called as current density. Okay. And now any Vd can be written as any mu times your electric field. Okay. I'll do one more thing. I'll put a subscript n. Okay. What does n stand for here? The mobility of. What does mu n stand for? The mobility of.
Negative particle.
Yeah, negative particles, electrons. Okay. So your, let me get rid of this also. Let me say J is equal to Ne mu times your electric field. Now what is in all of this? What do you have? N is a constant, let us say, for a given uniformly doped semiconductor. Okay, you have N which is constant everywhere, and then you have E is your electronic charge, which is constant. Mobility is again a constant. Okay, so these all things put together are called as something called as sigma n, where it is n stands for negative particles. So and sigma is conductivity. Okay, so J is equal to sigma E. Okay, this is another form of which law? Anybody has seen this equation before?
Ohm's law.
Ohm's law. Okay, so this is another form of Ohm's law. Okay, now let us try to derive. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Why don't you try to derive I is equal to IR from this? Okay, and I'll tell you one more thing, that sigma is equal to 1 over rho, where sigma is your conductivity and rho is your resistivity. Okay, please derive V is equal to IR, the normally most commonly seen form of Ohm's law. So you have J is equal to sigma E. It can be written as 1 over rho times E. Okay, and what is your resistance? Resistance is given by, if we have
OD by
a,
S.
so if this is the area of this particular, let us say this is the area A, or let us use the term S. Okay, S is your area. Okay, L is your length of your semiconductor. Okay, so this is rho L upon A is your resistance. Okay, let it multiply this both by A by L. Okay, on both sides I have multiplied by A by L. So what does the right hand side become? What does this become? This is your R. Is that right? Not R. Sorry, 1 by R. Yeah, this is 1 by R. And J times A is what? AJ is what?
I.
That is I.
Current.
Okay, that is your current I. And E times, assuming that your electric field is constant, what is E times L?
V.
Potential difference.
Potential difference.
So that is your V. Okay, so you get this gives I is equal to V over R. Okay, the general form of the most commonly used form of Ohm's law. Okay, V is equal to IR. So right now we have written this for electrons. Okay, so I'll now put another subscript which is Jn is equal to Ne mu n into electric field. Okay, now everybody can appreciate the fact that the current is going to be in the direction of your electric field. Okay, so we do not have to, so already all signs have been taken into account. Okay, please understand that. Okay, what are the two signs? Okay, first is that your electrons have negative charge. Okay, so let us start from let us do the same thing again, but in terms of vectors. Okay, so you have Jn is in the direction of your electric field. Okay, so Jn is in the same direction as your electric field. Okay, is that which is okay with everybody or no? Because electrons are moving in this direction, your Jn will have the direction of your electric field. Okay, and what is your number of electrons is obviously a minus E. Okay, your electrons have the charge minus E. Okay, and what is that the let me erase this. So n times minus E times your velocity. Okay, it was Ne into velocity. What is the velocity? Velocity in vector form, what will it be?
Minus.
Yeah, minus mu times your electric field. Okay, it will be in direction opposite to your electric field. So because your direction is opposite and your charge is negative, okay, both these things contribute to giving us the current which is in the same direction as your electric field, or you can say that the current is positive. Okay, assuming that your electric field is the direction of electric field is considered as positive. Okay, now if instead of these particles we had, let us say we are talking about a hole present over here. Okay, we had a hole over here. What would the direction of that hole be? Means what would the current due to holes be? In which direction will that be? Hole is a positively charged particle. Which direction will it move in?
In the direction of electric field.
It will move in the direction of electric field. Okay, and a positive charge moving in the positive direction is going to give us positive current. Okay, I'm assuming here that this is the positive direction for this particular system. Okay, so a positive charge moving in the positive direction is going to give us positive current. A negative charge moving in the negative direction is going to give us positive current again. Okay, so both electrons and holes. So your Jp, okay, the current density due to positive charges is in this direction, and Jn is also in the positive direction. Okay, so Jp will be P E mu P times your electric field. Okay, both of them are in the same direction. So your net current is going to be J is equal to Jn plus Jp, which is Ne mu n plus Pe mu P times your electric field. Okay, so and what is this now called? This is going to be again sigma. Okay, assuming that both P and N are playing an important role in your system, then your sigma is going to be a combination of your electronic part, the contribution from the electronic conductivity, plus the contribution from the hole conductivity. Okay, so that will be your net conductivity, the total conductivity. So that is a little bit of basics of drift current. Does anybody have a question here? Otherwise, we will move on to diffusion now. But before we move on to that, let us do an example. That will be a little better. Just one 34 seconds probably. So we have a silicon semiconductor. We have a P. We want to design a semiconductor resistor. Okay, we want to design a semiconductor resistor. Okay, T is 300 Kelvin. Okay, right now we are using, so what we are using the semiconductor just as a resistor. Okay, so T is equal to 300 Kelvin. We have ND is equal to 5 into 10 to power 15 per centimeter cube. R is equal to 10 kilo ohms. Okay, and J is equal to 50 ampere per centimeter square when V is equal to 5 volts. So this is the specification. So not means not necessarily that this should be. So your semiconductor should be able to handle this much current. Okay, it should be able to handle this much of J. Okay, usually we define the capability of a resistor in terms of how much current density it can handle. Okay, so let us say that this can handle this much. So please find out how much Na you should add. Okay, how many acceptors you should add so that you get all this characteristics. So first thing that we will do is find out I at the value of V. Okay, at 5 volts, what is the current? 5 by 10 kilo ohms. Okay, so that is going to give us 0.5 milliamperes. Okay, so that is the current in your device. Let us. So what will be your area? If this is your current density at 5 volts and this is your current, so you can find out your area. What will be the area? S will be I over J. Yeah, So S will be I over J 0.5 divided by 50. Okay, so how much area do you have? कितना हुआ? 0.1 by 100, so 1 by 1000. Is that right? नहीं, 0.1 by 10, so 1 by 100. So 0.01. 1. Let me explain it once more. Okay, maybe you guys are confused as much as I am. So we are told that this is my current density when my voltage is this much. Okay, when my voltage is this much, I already know the resistance of my resistor R, so I know what will be the current. Okay, if I know the resistance, if I know the voltage, I know the current, and I am saying that at this particular voltage, this should be my when this voltage is applied, this should be my current density. So if I know the current density and current, I can find out my area. Okay, so now I know the area of my semiconductor.
Sir, area must be 10 power minus 5 centimeter square.
10 to power minus 5.
Yes, sir.
Why?
Current in
Current is in milliamp.
Oh yeah,
Scientific
yeah,
milliamp.
yeah. You're right. Sorry. 10 to 10 to power minus 3. So this into 10 to power minus 5 is going to be minus 3 is going to be 10 to power minus 5. Yeah. So that is your area of your semiconductor resistor. What about your length? Length क्या होगी? Length से पहले हमें क्या निकालना होगा? So now you know your. Yeah, go ahead. क्या करना होगा मैं? You are designing something, so you have a choice of lot of things. Okay, so what is the thing that we should choose? Is length given? Nope.
At 300 Kelvin, we must know resistivity.
No. Resistivity is, please remember, resistivity is what we just wrote down. And the resistivity is the rho is 1 over conductivity, and conductivity is dependent on your carrier concentration. Okay. Okay. So again, length is in your hands. Okay. So what length should we choose? See, obviously you have Na in your hands. Okay, how much acceptors you want to add, and you have your length in your hands. So length will be sort of determined by how much electric field your system can handle. Okay, L is unknown to you right now. Okay, and your electric field determines your material determines how much electric field it can handle. If you go beyond certain electric field, you might have heard of the term breakdown field. Have you heard that earlier in case of dielectrics? जब कैपेसिटर्स वगैरह पढ़े थे, सुना है कभी या नहीं सुना?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So your breakdown field determines how much field you can apply before your semiconductor is no longer going to act like a semiconductor. So in this case, let us assume that your maximum electric field that you can handle is 100 volts per centimeter. Okay, this is an arbitrary assumption, but let us say we do that. Okay, so if I do that, what will be my length? And let us say that this is the maximum voltage that I will apply. Okay, 5 volts is the maximum voltage that I am going to apply. So can you find out the length from here? V will be E times L. Okay, so L will be V over E, which comes out to be 5
0.05 centimeter.
5 divided by 100. So that becomes out to be 0.05 centimeter. Okay, so that is your length. Now you, again, it's not a big deal. If you choose a reasonable value of electric field, length can be anything. Okay, so I have chosen this here. Okay, 0.05 centimeter. Even after knowing all this, okay, even after assuming this, if I choose this to be 0.1 centimeter, is it going to make a difference? See, this is the maximum field that you can apply for before it breaks down. Let us say that. Okay, it is not true, but let us say that this is the case. So if I apply any field lower than that, it's not a problem. It will still act like a resistor. Okay, so even instead of choosing 0.05 centimeter, if I had chosen 0.1 centimeter, would it make my resistor wrong, or would it not work? What do you think? Anybody?
Sir, it would work, but it would break down earlier or something.
No. It will not break down earlier. Please understand that. It will break down later because your your voltage is the same. Okay, so at 5 volts your field is lower, so it will break down later. You will have to apply even more higher voltage to get that particular field. Please understand that.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like break down later.
So it will break down later. So when you are designing something, there is no one right answer. So my question started as a design for a semiconductor resistor. Okay, so it is up to you whether you. It should not break any of the constraints that I have given you. Other than that, everything is in your hands, and it should be obviously reasonable. If you choose length to be 1 kilometer, obviously it is not a very good design. Please understand that. Okay. Other than that, it's a reasonable design. Means if you choose instead of 0.05 centimeter, if you choose 0.1 centimeter, it's not a big deal. Okay, the answer should be the same. Means not the same, but the end resulting resistor, if you do the right calculation, should be the same. Okay, and it should act exactly the same. Okay. So I have chosen here arbitrarily that electric field is 100 volts per centimeter. Yeah, Vaishnavi, do you have a question?
No, sir.
Then please mute yourself. Okay. So we are here. Now I know my length, I know my area. Okay. Can I find out the value of NA? Sorry. क्या होना चाहिए?
Sir, do we know value of mu n and mu p?
Yeah, we know that. Mu n is 1350 centimeter square per volt second. It's silicon. Okay, and mu p is 480 centimeter square per volt second. Okay, so we know the values of mu n and mu p. Let us assume that Na is 0. Okay, let us start from that point. Okay, let us say Na is 0. What will be my conductivity in that case? हमारी कंडक्टिविटी क्या आएगी और हमारा रेजिस्टेंस कितना आएगा? What will be my resistance?
Sir, can we put these values in J and find a relation between N and P?
Yeah, you can do that. Go ahead.
And then, sir, when we have a relation between N and P, we can find a relation between ND and NA.
Yeah, go ahead. That's a good idea. Yeah, please do it. What's your name?
Sir, Shivansh.
Okay, Shivansh. Very good.
But sir, can we assume a value of Ni? Or means
Yeah, Ni is known to us. It's silicon. We are saying it is silicon. Okay, so Ni is known to us.
Okay, sir. Then we'll be able to solve.
Yeah, go ahead. So we have let me erase this side. So you have sigma will be what? Or rho will be R A over L. Is that okay? R is known to us, 10 into 10 to power 3 into L is 10. L is यहाँ पे निकाला था हमने, मैंने मिटा दिया उसको. L is 0.05 centimeters. So 0.05 divided by area. What is the area? Is 10 to power minus 5. So that is your rho. Okay, and it is comes out to be how much? 5. हाँ, मैंने उल्टा कर दिया. 10 to power minus 5 ऊपर आएगा, नीचे आएगा 0.05. So that comes out to be minus 2. This and this cancel each other out. So we get 2 ohm centimeter. Okay, the units of resistivity are ohm centimeter. Okay, ohms times centimeter. Centimeter square divided by centimeter is centimeter. Okay, so 2 ohm centimeter is your resistivity. So if that is your
Sir,
yeah,
sir, can you do one thing? That we know mu n and mu p, then
Yeah.
we know that Jn will be ne mu n e plus pe mu p e,
yeah,
and we know e as well. So in that
Yeah.
equation only p will remain as a variable, and we need to find that only. Means we can take n as nd in this question, or we need
no,
to
no,
do-
no, no, no. We cannot take that. No, please remember, if you are adding both kinds of dopants, then it is no longer, you cannot no longer choose this n is equal to nd, because some of your holes are going to cancel out the number of electrons that you have. Okay, so Na,
sir, we need
if
to
no, so I
we
will
need
give
to
you
go by-
no, no, Manav, please hold on. I'll give you an extreme example when Nd and Na both are equal. Okay, let us say what you are saying, I assume that. Okay, that n is equal to 10 to power 15, 5 into 10 to power 15, and I say that Na is 10 to power 5 into 10 to power 15 also. Then will that be true? What you are saying?
No, sir, then they will be comparable.
Yeah,
We need to go by that quadratic formula.
yeah, you have to do that. Okay,
Sir,
So-
sir,
yeah,
sir, what he was telling only, but we can find a relation between n and p, na?
yeah,
Then
I'm
we know
using,
n into p equal to ni square. So we can find n.
that's what we are doing.
Okay,
Okay, but
sir.
he was saying something else. He was saying that we can assume that n is equal to nd. That's what I'm countering. I'm not countering his original assumption. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So and rho is given as, or so sigma is going to be 0.5 ohm inverse centimeter inverse. Okay, that is your sigma. Okay, and sigma is also Ne mu n plus Pe mu p. Okay, and we know that, what do we know? We know ki in a semiconductor in equilibrium, Np N0 P0, which we had previously written, is equal to Ni squared. Okay, so we can simply do Ni squared, P can be replaced by Ni squared by N. Okay, so do this and please find out the value of n. इस क्वाड्रेटिक को सॉल्व करो. You know the value of mu n, mu p, and e. Well, how much is e? 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs. निकालो भाई. What will be the value of n?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, the basic formula is that J is equal to Jn plus Jp, Jn
Yeah.
plus Jp.
Yeah.
So we have actually divided J by E to get sigma.
J
So
by
actually
E
it was
क्या
50 by 100. So sir, if we change the value of E, then we'll get different sigma. So the equation will solve to give different answers.
पता नहीं यार तुम क्या बोल रहे हो, सोचने दो
सर
जरा.
मीन्स जे को ई से अगर डिवाइड कर दे तो सिग्मा मिल जाएगा ना.
ठीक है.
तो सर अगर डिफरेंट ई लेंगे हम तो सिग्मा डिफरेंट होगा, तो इक्वेशन का आंसर तो अलग अलग मिलेगा ना.
हाँ. दोबारा
तो
बोलो,
फिर सर एन डी और एन ए अलग अलग आ सकते हैं.
दोबारा बोलो, एक बार दोबारा बोलो.
सर जे इक्वल टू जे एन प्लस जे ई
या
इक्वल टू
जे,
सिग्मा ई.
या
सर तो जे बाई सिग्मा, जे बाई ई इक्वल टू सिग्मा हो गया.
ठीक है.
तो सर तो यही तो आपने इक्वेट किया ना सिग्मा को, तो सिग्मा तो अलग अलग हो जाएगा ना अगर
उससे
ई
क्या
हम
फर्क पड़ता
चेंज
है,
करेंगे.
उससे क्या फर्क पड़ता है.
तो सर
सिग्मा
उससे एन की वैल्यू चेंज हो जाएगी ना.
वो तो चेंज होने से कोई फर्क
जब
नहीं पड़ता
आपने
ना.
जो
नहीं नहीं नहीं, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दैट वी आर डिजाइनिंग समथिंग, एवरीथिंग इज आर्बिट्ररी इन वन सेंस. ओके, यू कैन चूज एनीथिंग दैट यू लाइक एज लॉन्ग एज this does not get violated. Okay, your maximum current should not be greater than this. Okay, the maximum current at this particular voltage should not be greater, current density should not be greater than this, as long as you satisfy this and your resistance is 10 kilo ohms. Okay, as long as this is true, your sigma can be anything that you want in this world within reason, and your electron and hole concentration can be anything. Do you understand?
okay sir, so means we have to just get a right answer for the assumptions that we make.
Yeah, that is what
Means
design
NA
means.
can be according to E we choose.
Yeah.
Okay sir, got it, thank you.
So करा किसी ने, किसी का आया आंसर. वैष्णवी, did you get it?
So I'm calculating.
Anybody else? शिवांश, आ गया तुम्हारा? तुमने सबसे पहले बताया था ऐसे करना है हमें.
नहीं सर, मैं थोड़ा कंसेप्चुअली सोच रहा था.
चलो. अमन सिन्हा, कुछ बोलना चाहते हो?
सर
क्या?
ट्राई कर रहा हूँ.
ओके, तुम्हें ये आंसर बताना है आज. So 0.5 is equal to NE, n 10 to power 6 minus 19 into 1.6 into mu n 1350 plus plus ni squared 2.25 20 into 1.6 into 480. So this is the quadratic equation that we are getting. Okay, n square into this quantity minus n by 2 plus 2.25. This is the constant. Okay, C. So
Answer
yeah.
is
क्या बताओ?
2.3 2.31 into 10 की power 15.
So n is equal to 2.31 into 10 to power 15. Okay, per centimeter cube. You must be getting two values. What happens to the second value?
Value is 0.
Huh?
Second value is approximately 0.
Approximately 0. Exact value is how much? Minus b. B square minus 4ac.
So 4ac is coming very small.
Okay. Okay, then that's fine. Okay, thank you. So n you are getting 1 as, so yeah, what is that for 4ac? Let us calculate that.
1.49 into 10 to the power minus 14.
So another option is 1.4 into 10 to the power minus 14.
No, 4ac. I'm saying the value of 4ac only.
Okay. So okay, that's fine. So another value that you are getting for n is almost 0. Okay, which is not practical. Okay, you are getting something of the order of 10 to the power minus 7. Okay, of the another option is 10 to the power minus 7. If you assume n to be 10 to the power minus 7, what will be the value of p? p की वैल्यू क्या आ जाएगी अगर n को हम 10 to the power minus 7 मान लेंगे तो? Okay, please understand that 4ac is square root 4ac is 10 to the power minus 14, so square root of that is going to be approximately 10 to the power minus 7. Okay, so if this will be of the order of 10 to the power minus 7. So if I assume n to be 10 to the power minus 7, what will be the value of p? Aman, क्या होगी p की वैल्यू अगर मैं n को 10 to the power minus 7 मानूं तो?
Sir, 0.
अमन सिन्हा.
Hello.
हाँ.
Sir, it would be 0.
क्यों भाई? बार बार म्यूट मत करो, अनम्यूट रखो अपने आप को, बार बार म्यूट मत करो.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, why will it be 0?
So,
If n is 10 to the power minus 7 and we know that np is equal to ni squared in equilibrium, so what will be the value of p?
not anything.
Huh? So ni squared is 10 to the power 20, okay, divided by 10 to the power minus 7 is going to be 10 to the power 27. Okay, which is not a feasible doping concentration. Okay, you cannot dope it that high. Okay, because your atomic concentration itself. Okay, what is the atomic concentration of silicon itself? Do you know? Does anybody know what is the atomic concentration? Did we do a calculation based on this? I think it was a part of tutorial or something, or was it not? Anybody? What is the atomic concentration of crystalline silicon? Number of atoms per centimeter cube, how much is that for silicon? No one? अरे भाई कोई तो बोलो. Okay, probably we did not do that calculation. The atomic concentration for silicon is 10 to the power 22 per centimeter cube. Okay, this is the atomic concentration of silicon. This is how many atoms per centimeter cube of silicon you will see in a pure silicon crystal. Okay, obviously your doping concentration cannot be higher because of both, because you cannot possibly dope it higher than this. Okay, if you were to dope it higher than this, then this will no longer act like silicon. Secondly, your dopants also have their own size, so there is some limitation of how much atoms you can fit in a centimeter cube. Okay, how many atoms you can fit in a centimeter cube. So both these reasons are the reason that you cannot have a concentration of P which is of the order of 10 to the power 27. So the second option is not valid. The only option that is valid is the first option, where 2.31 into 10 to the power 15 per centimeter cube is your electron concentration. If that is your electron concentration, what will be your hole concentration? होल कॉन्सेंट्रेशन क्या होगी?
9.7 into
9.7 into 10 to power 14. नहीं 14 नहीं, सॉरी गलत बोल रहा हूँ. हाँ बोलो. ओके, गो अहेड.
10 की power 4.
10 to power 4. Yeah, that's fine. Good, thank you. So that is your electron concentration and hole concentration, and we know that your now can you do something here? Your electron concentration is much higher than your what? Than Ni. Okay, so we can assume that Nd minus Na is much greater than Ni. Okay, so it's not a big deal. So we can find out. So we can apply that n is equal to Nd minus Na. So you do not have to apply the whole quadratic equation. Okay, you do not have to worry about it. See, please understand that if n is 10 to power 15, it is much greater than your Ni. Okay, which is 10 to power 10. So obviously so this has to be valid. Okay, because n is equal to Nd minus Na. मैं बहुत सारे लॉजिकल वो कर रहा हूँ, जम्प्स लगा रहा हूँ, बट डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. इफ़ यू वांट टू डू अ डिटेल एनालिसिस यू कैन गो होम, यू कैन गो होम, मीन्स यू आर एट होम बट यू कैन गो होम एंड डू इट. ओके, सो इफ़ यू अप्लाई दिस यू विल गेट द वैल्यू ऑफ n, सॉरी Na क्या आएगा फिर?
2.19.
2.19 into 10 to power 15 per centimeter cube. Okay, so this many donors you added which were cancelled by about half the value, means which were cancelled by those acceptors, which was approximately half the value of the number of donors. Okay, so these acceptors are cancelling these donors. ठीक है, आया समझ में मानव? क्योंकि तुम्हारा assumption क्यों वैलिड नहीं था, या शिवांश ने पूछा था? मेरे को याद नहीं.
Yes sir, yes sir.
ओके ओके, थैंक यू. आज बड़ा लंबा चल गया यार ये एग्जाम्पल. ओके, एनी केस इट्स 12 o'clock, so we'll stop. If anybody has a question, you can ask me now.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, Fermi level in an intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductor,
Yeah.
does it change with temperature?
Does it change with?
Temperature.
Who is asking?
Me, Manav.
Yeah. What do you think?
Sir, I think it must change.
In which case? When we are saying change, we mean significant change. Okay, let us first take that and to put that as a disclaimer that we are talking about a significant change. Okay, 0.001 eV is not a significant change.
And sir, the value of EC and EV, will they be same at different temperatures for a given
Yeah,
semiconductor?
for this particular course, the values of EC, EV is going to stay the same. Okay, EC, EVs will stay the same, and your band gap is going to stay the same for this particular course. Okay, it is not dependent on temperature. So we are saying that. So what do you think is going to happen in an intrinsic semiconductor? If you change the temperature, will the Fermi level change?
Yes sir, maybe.
कहाँ जाएगी? बीच में तो है ही ऑलरेडी. कहाँ जाएगी वो?
Okay sir.
Do you understand?
Yes sir.
बीच की बीच में ही रहेगी वो. मतलब when I'm saying again significant change, वो KT और MN, LN, MP star, MN star वो सब आएगा. So that will make a little bit of difference. But other than that, there will be no significant change. It is in the center. It will stay in the center. What happens in case of extrinsic semiconductors is that once you start increasing the temperature, your Ni keeps on increasing. Once your Ni starts increasing, your Fermi level starts coming closer and closer to your center of your band gap. Okay, even if it was N type or it was P type, if you make the temperature very high, so that your Ni becomes larger than your doping concentration, then where will your Fermi level be, Manav? If your Ni becomes larger than doping, क्या हुआ मानव?
Sir, it will be closer to the conduction band.
नहीं यार, if Ni becomes larger than your doping, then why will it be closer to conduction band? It will be close to your middle of your band gap, because it is now acting like an intrinsic material. Your N and P are almost the same. Don't you agree?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think we did that. हमने किया था क्या इसका टेम्परेचर का? ये बात हमने डिस्कस करी है. ऐसे मैंने प्लॉट नहीं किया और तो भी मैंने डिस्कस तो किया था ये चीज़ कि एज यू इंक्रीज द टेम्परेचर योर इफेक्टिव डोपिंग बिकम स्मॉलर, because in comparison to Ni your doping is becoming smaller and smaller because your Ni is becoming larger. We discussed this. Okay, I think Vivek had a question. Do you have a question, Vivek? You were unmuted at the same time.
Yes sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
सर अगर इस वाले एग्जांपल में एनडी का वैल्यू एनआई से बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब होता तो सर हम एन इज इक्वल टू एनडी लिख सकते थे क्या डायरेक्टली, क्योंकि सर वो पी टाइप मतलब सॉरी एन टाइप सेमीकंडक्टर की तरह काम करता है.
अगर एनडी की वैल्यू एनए से बहुत ज़्यादा होती
सर एनआई से एनआई मतलब सर सेमीकंडक्टर के लिए हमको एनआई पता है सिलिकॉन का.
हाँ तो ऑलरेडी ज़्यादा है.
हाँ
लेकिन हम दूसरे टाइप का भी मटेरियल ऐड कर रहे हैं ना उसमें. तो यार ये जो है इलेक्ट्रॉन्स क्रिएट कर रहा है, ये होल्स क्रिएट कर रहा है, तो इन दोनों का कंपटीशन चल रहा है ना. एनआई से तो कंपटीशन है ही नहीं अब, जब वो ऑलरेडी वो बहुत ज़्यादा है. इन दोनों की लड़ाई तो इन दोनों की चल रही है, तो इन दोनों की चिंता करनी है हमें.
ठीक है सर.
ठीक है,
ओके सर.
सर वो एक रिलेशन होता है ना Na इक्वल टू KT नेचुरल लॉग ऑफ Na अपॉन ND.
या
सर वो इस इक्वेशन में इस क्वेश्चन में वैलिड नहीं है क्या?
कौन सा? Ni इज इक्वल टू
KT नेचुरल लॉग ऑफ Na अपॉन ND.
तुम गलत बोल रहे हो. Ni इज इक्वल टू KT ln, नहीं कुछ तो मैं भी गलत कर रहा हूँ. Na अपॉन ND कैसे आया यार? ये थोड़ी होता है. KT ln माइनस E. Ni की वैल्यू क्या होती है? रूट NC NV एक्सपोनेंशियल माइनस EG ओवर 2KT. तुम किस
स्टेटमेंट में भी KT ln Na अपॉन ND दिया हुआ है. एक बार मैं दोबारा कंफर्म करके.
नहीं गलत है, कुछ तो तुम गलत बोल रहे हो, वो नहीं हो सकता. ठीक है ना, क्योंकि Na जो तुम बोल रहे हो वो बात हो ही नहीं सकती ना, क्योंकि या एक सेंस में सही है. कहाँ से आया वो?
वो डेंसिटी ऑफ स्टेट्स में ही थी डेरिवेशन उसकी, जिस बुक से मैंने पढ़ी थी स्टेटमेंट में.
नहीं, अगर वो है तो ये तो हो ही नहीं सकता ना. Na और ND तो एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करते ना उसमें, इंट्रिंसिक मटेरियल में. तो ऐसा होना ही नहीं चाहिए, उसके ऊपर डिपेंडेंट होना ही नहीं चाहिए.
इंट्रिंसिक नहीं सर, एक्सट्रिंसिक के लिए.
Let us see. If somebody wants to leave, they can leave. Let me discuss with. What's your name?
युवराज सर, युवराज.
So Ni is equal to KT ln ND over Na.
Na अपॉन ND.
ये तो सही हो ही नहीं सकता यार. बताऊं क्यों? मान लो Na तुम्हारा छोटा है ND से, तो क्या होगा? Na नेगेटिव हो जाएगा. तो ये इक्वेशन तो वैसे ही वैलिड नहीं है. तुम पता नहीं क्या चीज़ को देख रहे हो, तो एक बार पढ़ लो उसे, फिर मुझे बताना. ठीक है, मैंने तो तुम्हें इमीडिएटली बता दिया कि भाई ये सही नहीं हो सकता. ठीक है, अगर Na ND से छोटा हो जाएगा तो ये नेगेटिव हो जाएगा, Na नेगेटिव हो जाएगा, वो पॉसिबल नहीं है. ठीक है, सो मे बी यू आर लुकिंग एट समथिंग एल्स. Okay, so please look into it. Are you getting it, Yuvraj?
Yes sir.
So please look into it. What you are talking, what is the relation? Because this is not correct. This cannot be correct. ठीक है, मैं थोड़ा कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन वाला आदमी हूँ, हमेशा कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन ढूंढ लेता हूँ चीज़ों में. तो कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन से मैंने प्रूव कर दिया कि ये भाई सही नहीं है. ठीक है, तो आगे तुम देख लेना क्या है, फिर मुझे अगली बार पूछना. ओके ओके, थैंक यू. एनीबडी एल्स?
हेलो
या
सर, वो एक्सट्रिंसिक सेमीकंडक्टर में EFI को हमेशा E मिड गैप ले सकते हैं ना?
most of the times, until unless we are talking about specifically finding out the value of EI in then you don't have to worry about it too much. You can almost always choose EI is equal to E media, okay, because the difference is almost negligible.
ओके सर. सर और जब हमने N0 P0 कैलकुलेट किया था NI स्क्वायर के लिए इक्वल टू NI स्क्वायर,
हाँ या
तो सर वो जो इक्वेशन होती है NC एक्सपोनेंशियल माइनस EC माइनस EF बाई KT, वो एक्सट्रिंसिक के लिए वैलिड होती है?
तो सबके लिए वैलिड है.
N0 इक्वल. अच्छा सर, लेकिन बस NC की वैल्यू चेंज हो जाएगी?
नहीं, एनसी की वैल्यू चेंज नहीं होगी, EF की वैल्यू चेंज होगी, और कुछ भी चेंज नहीं होगा उसमें.
मतलब डायरेक्ट वो इक्वेशन भी लगा सकते हैं एक्सट्रिंसिक में?
Yes, that equation is valid everywhere in equilibrium.
Means NC is that only 2.8 which you told.
Yeah.
2.8 and
Yeah, most of the time we are not
Only
going to hold on. We are not going to use that equation almost always. We are going to use the other equation, which is n is
Yes,
equal
sir,
to
वो तो
ni.
है.
ni
NI
exponential.
into E exponential,
ठीक है?
yes sir.
ठीक है, we are going
E
to use
minus
this equation.
EF वाली.
Yeah.
हाँ, उससे हमारे काम तो सारे हो जाएंगे. मतलब मैं जस्ट पूछ रहा था कि वो
नहीं, that is
ऐसे
ये
वैलिड
वहीं
तो
से
है ना?
ये वहीं से तो आ रही है. ये वहीं से आ
हाँ
रही
सर, वही
है.
इसलिए
अगर वो वैलिड नहीं होगी तो
मैंने
ये भी
सोचा
वैलिड
था
नहीं
कि
होगी.
NC की वैल्यू चेंज हो जाती हो, इसलिए नहीं यूज
नहीं,
करते हो.
एनसी
बट
की वैल्यू
NC
चेंज नहीं
से.
होगी. या
ओके सर, थैंक यू
how they
सर.
are, how they are filling, see, NC is effective density of states. Only thing that is changing, how do you, those states are getting filled up. Okay, your
Yes,
number
sir,
of states
yes.
stays the same whether it is doped or undoped.
ओके सर.
Okay.
ओके, थैंक यू सर.
सर
Yeah,
सर पर मतलब सर इसके अंदर वो कभी कभार तब दिक्कत होगी ना अगर हमें एफ आई गिवन ही नहीं है. जैसे शायद एक इस बार असाइनमेंट में क्वेश्चन है ऐसा
yeah.
कि कुछ ऐसा है कि मतलब हमें सी और एफ के बीच में डिफरेंस दिया हुआ है जो ई सी और ई एफ के बीच में. तो
EC और
हम अगर
EF
एन निकाल, हाँ सर, तो सर मतलब एफ आई हम ऐसे एज्यूम करने से अच्छा फिर हम वो डिफरेंस लेके वो वाली इक्वेशन लगाए ना एनसी वाली.
नहीं, you can assume, see, almost always you want to use this equation because this is more accurate, because it more accurately represents what happens in physically. Please, I already explained to you कि ni calculated from this equation does not exactly relate to what we see physically. We physically see of the order of 2 into 10 to power 10, and ni calculated here gives you 0.5 into 10 to power 9. Okay, so you do not want to use this equation a lot. You want to use this equation more than that, because this is more accurately representative of what happens physically. Okay.
Sir, but if we are not having FI and मतलब
No,
in the
FI
question
is,
it is given.
Shivansh already asked me, in the beginning, about 2-3 questions back, that can I choose FI to be E mid gap? I'm saying yes, you can.
Sir, but then why they have given us the difference between conduction band energy and EF? Like
because they wanted you to do a calculation EF minus EFI. Okay. They wanted an extra calculation to be done. Actually, almost always you see, almost always the difference is given between EC and EC and EF, or EV and EF, because those are very close to your either conduction. In most semiconductors, it will be either P type or N type, so it will be very close to your conduction or valence bands. So most of the times they give you that difference. Okay.
So, sir, if we are using the tensor, so it will be wrong, मतलब totally wrong in the numerical.
यार तुम एग्जाम की बात कर रहे हो तो कोई बात नहीं, but I again insist that please use this equation because this more accurately represents physics. Everything is a model, okay? So that model we have to see how accurately it is representing what is happening physically. This equation more accurately represents because this has Ni inbuilt into it. Okay, if I start from here, NC, NV, those are not as accurate or representation of what happens physically. Okay, because we have already changed Ni. Ni अगर हम उस वाली इक्वेशन से निकालते तो 6 into 10 to power 9 आता, लेकिन हम यहाँ पर Ni लगा रहे हैं 1.5 into 10 to power 10. Okay, so we have already changed it a little bit to suit us. Okay, so if you use that equation, you are not going to get the correct answer as far as book or anything is concerned.
Okay, sir.
Okay, सो बुक में भी कुछ आंसर्स दिए हों तो वो भी आंसर्स वैलिड नहीं होंगे, मतलब तुम्हारा आंसर सही नहीं आएगा, क्योंकि तुम जो अज्यूम कर रहे हो वो बुक वाला अज्यूम नहीं कर रहा है, बिकॉज Ni being 10 to power 10 is more correct physically. Anybody else? Rudraksh?
Sir, I have
Yeah,
done.
go ahead.
Sir, if by calculation our minority charge carrier density comes of the order 10 to power minus 3 or minus 4,
Yeah.
then is it physically possible?
You tell me. We just did a different analysis just now. What do you think?
So it should not come, then it is not physically possible to create such a.
Yeah, that is correct. That is correct, because what is going to happen to your doping concentration of the other kind?
It will
10 to power 24. 24. Obviously, that is not possible. Anything greater than 10 to power 20 is approximately not possible. Okay, please understand that. One is the most doping that you can do is approximately of the order of 10 to power 20. Okay, anything beyond 10 to power 20 is not possible.
Okay, sir.
Okay, it will no longer stay silicon. If you add, see, 10 to power 20 is approximately how much? 1 by 100. So one atom, one dopant atom for every 100 silicon atom. That is what the ratio becomes at 10 to power 20. If you make it higher than that, it becomes an alloy of those two materials instead of that material, silicon being doped by that material. Okay, it becomes an alloy of silicon and that material. Okay.
Yes.
It will no longer act like silicon.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else?
Sir, the value of a small ND which we with the formula which we have, is that value only for one type of doping or both the type of dopings? Means if we are having N and P, both type of doping, so is that small ND formula valid?
No, that we are talking about just one type of dopants. Means the donor levels, how the donor level is getting filled or being emptied out. Okay, that it just represents that. It has nothing to do with acceptors at all.
No, but sir, if suppose in a semiconductor we have both type, means N type impurities also and P type also. So we will have acceptor level and donors level, both kind of levels. So for each individual level, can we apply that equation?
See, try to understand what is happening. So this is your EC, ED and EV. Okay, and let us say this is my Fermi level, EF. Okay, and I had given in this particular donor level the number of electrons in this donor level at present. Okay, after everything is said and done, is 1 over, not 1 over, ND over ND, where ND is your doping for concentration of donors, over 1 plus 1 by 2 exponential E D minus EF over KT. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you see anything to do with your acceptor ions over here?
No, sir.
No, you cannot see. So this ND is not dependent on that. It is only dependent on how that affects your EF. That is another issue. Okay, don't worry about that for now. Okay, that is obviously going to affect your EF, but let us not worry about that for now. ND is not being affected by your EA. Okay, whatever is happening at the EA level, it does not really matter to it. Now, your difference between EC and ED and EF is going to give how many of these states have been emptied out. Okay, how many of these states have been emptied out, which of these states have become positively charged. Okay, that is being determined by this particular equation. Okay, what it has done, that it has given those electrons to your conduction band. Is that okay? It has that the donor level has become positively charged at various places, and those electrons have gone into conduction band. Okay, that is okay. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Now what happens to those electrons, it does not really matter to this donor level, no, other than the difference between ED and EF. उन इलेक्ट्रॉन्स का बाद में क्या होता है उसको क्या मतलब है? वो उसने तो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स दे दिए अपनी ED और EF के रिलेशन से. Now those electrons, if some holes are getting created, those electrons may recombine with those holes and they may cancel out. Okay, but that has nothing to do with this donor level. उसने तो इलेक्ट्रॉन दे दिया था. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this equation is still valid. This equation is still valid. Obviously, the next equation that I wrote, that n is equal to nd minus nd. This is no longer going to be valid. ठीक है? This will not be valid, but this equation will be valid. The small nd equation will be valid. This equation will not be valid for a compensated semiconductor. Do you understand why it will not be valid?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got it.
Okay. So the top equation will be valid, but the bottom equation will not be valid because the ends. So this is the original number of ends that are being created, the original number of electrons that are being created. But some holes, if you add an acceptors also, then some of those holes are going to recombine with those electrons, and the total number of electrons is going to become lower. So when I wrote this equation, I was assuming that we have just one kind of dopants, that is donors. Okay, when I wrote this particular equation, but this equation is universal. Okay, but it is also not completely universal. Why is it not universal? Because your EF is going to be dependent on what is your final carrier concentration. Okay, obviously your EF is going to, if you make Na equal to Nd, okay, if you make Na equal to Nd, what is going to happen? It will act like an intrinsic material, so your EF is going to move here. So obviously this is going to get affected, but that is getting affected indirectly. Okay, not directly. Okay, but this is n is getting affected directly because of adding of additional acceptors. Okay, so this equation is no longer going to be valid. This is going to be valid because your EF can change. Okay, EF is going to change.
Okay.
Anybody else? नहीं, चलिए ठीक है. Okay. Thank you. Very good discussion. Thank you for your very nice questions. I am really happy. Those questions were very good. Okay. Bye bye. See you on Friday.